Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, carpentry workshop by the IOM expected to help shore up Dominica's skilled labor sector. Dominican youth challenged to make positive use of technology, and World Creole Music Festival tickets go on sale starting Wednesday. The details coming up.
M&J Covering is the producer of designed galvanized and galvalume in Dominica. They design to your specifications, color and length, 4 styles of galvanized and galvalume pre-painted roofing sheets as requested, and supply all your galvalume accessories. M&J Covering helps you control spending and reduce waste. At M&J Covering, they are also equipped to build your roof to precise standards anywhere on island. So come to M&J Covering at 1 Mile in Portsmouth or call 445-5001 275-5003 today.
First up in the news, the United Nations International Organization for Migration IOM is taking a hands-on approach to boosting the number of skilled laborers in the country. Andrea Louis reports.
This as the IOM has embarked on a series of workshops to train Dominicans in the field of carpentry. Following the destruction to the housing stock from Hurricane Maria, numerous international organizations arrived on island to lend a hand in the rebuilding process. The concern among locals and foreigners alike is the shortage of capable tradesmen in Dominica. This situation has affected the rebuilding effort in the country and led the IOM to import trained craftsmen to help with their roofing project. Community Engagement Assistant with the IOM, Maxine Aline Esprit, says the training sessions will be extremely beneficial to Dominicans.
Currently, we are collaborating with Habitat for Humanity and the Youth Development Division to put on what we call a Learn for Earn series of workshops, which will offer training in basic carpentry skills. So the intention is to contribute to increasing the pool of people who are exposed to carpentry and who can consider it as an alternative livelihood. We are targeting males as well as females. We want to help to sort of, again, destroy the stigma that females cannot be involved in construction.
The workshop started on Monday in St. Joseph and will run for 2 weeks in that community.
There's a first week in workshop where you get in a workshop setting. We introduce the basics of measurements. We introduce the basics of the tools that you need to use, speed squares, measuring tapes, hammer, screwdriver, start from scratch. And we speak about the shelter safety basics. We speak about the building code. On the second week, they go out into the field with the IOM crews, and they begin now to be a part of the actual work on the field so that they get an exposure at that level.
Aline Esprit says this skill set is very useful as the construction sector is on a rise.
People who demonstrate themselves to be sufficiently motivated to attend all the sessions and to pick up the information that is provided and the knowledge, we will be doing a certification at the end of the 2 weeks with the Youth Development Division. So they will be receive a certificate for a short course in Introduction to Basic Carpentry. There will also be opportunity potentially to join IOM teams. And what we see is that construction is not an industry that is going to decline anytime soon.
Following the training in St. Joseph, the seminars will continue in the Roseville catchment area, then Maho, and move on to Marigot and Wesley.
In other news now, Member of Parliament for the Maho constituency has pledged his support to developing culture in his area. Mr. Blackmore was speaking at the launching of independence activities over the weekend. While acknowledging that culture must be practiced year-round, he committed to helping enhance the Old Mill Cultural Center to sustain the practice of traditional arts among Dominicans.
Our heritage defines us as a people. Our food, our dress, our music, our historical landmarks, like as this one We are here today, and I want to say to you that hopefully by next year, at this time, we'll be standing on a new stage. And of course, your government is providing the requisite funding to build a new stage at the Cultural Center in Old Mill. And I want to commend the effort of Mr. Raymond Lawrence for working very hard and pushing for this stage.
The Member of Parliament encouraged Dominicans to appreciate their traditional culture, and Blackmore called on the public to develop a culture of resilience to move the country forward.
And we can only build a resilient nation if we start from the homes, from the community, to recognize that all of us have a part to play in ensuring that Dominica becomes the first climate resilient country in the world. Your government will continue to do everything by way of policy measures, by way of programs and projects, and by mobilizing the requisite resources to set the pace for that takeoff. But you must be part of this process. You must be active participants in the journey to building this country, in the journey to restoring this country.
In more news now, Dominican youth have been called upon to use technology to showcase the good happening in the country.
Minister for Technology, Kelva Daru, made the remarks when addressing the recent closing ceremony of a summer volunteerism program. Daru told the young people that they must use technology to be bearers of good news as they can influence Dominica's image to the outside world.
When your various clubs in your respective communities and districts get involved in activities that are positive and uplifting, you have to showcase these things using the technology, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's on Instagram. You have to showcase it, and you have to showcase the positive that is happening in Dominica, because a lot of positive things are happening in this country, and you have to be the bearers of positive news for your country, young people. Because at the end of the day, what people on the outside see happening in Dominica will either want them to come to this country, or they will refuse or refrain from coming to this country. So you have a responsibility as young people to ensure that you can continue to promote this country in a positive way using the technology at your fingertips.
During the camp, the youth were engaged in various activities such as clearing aspects of the National Trail, cleaning up beaches and waterways, and assisting the elderly. Daru warned the volunteers to use what they learned during the summer camp to become better citizens.
Because you realize when you throw garbage out of a bus and it goes into the waterways, it goes into the drains, it goes into the rivers and the streams, and they get blocked when there are heavy rainfall, then who does it impact on? Yourselves. So we have a responsibility as young people to ensure that we dispose of our garbage properly. And that is why throughout the last several weeks that you undertook this training and you went through your volunteerism program, you got involved in activities to unblock waterways. You got involved in various activities in your respective communities. It is important that you develop the mindset that will now allow you to be a better citizen. And you can start by ensuring that you dispose of your garbage properly when you're traveling on a bus.
The summer volunteerism program ran from 17th July to 17th August.
And the songs of 5 finalists in the 2018 NCCU Canal-Calypso competition have been launched. The 5 are among 11 competitors who will compete for the top prize on the 2nd of November. They are Marissa Stedman with Mon Jaloux. Here's a clip of that song.
Oh, I have this guy here who really just did wonders to it. Mr. Henderson, he produced the song. And of course, I have to say kudos to Ali Roll, who did some additional arrangements. And he really worked with me step by step. They both did. But there's something that Mr. Henderson brought that I couldn't really bring, and that's a little more flavor. And I think it really just complemented the beat. Now about my song, I'm sure you guys are wondering. It's Moi Jaloux, as it indicates. It's a love song. Originally, when I wrote the song, I called up, I have to say, Ophelia. She's the first person I ever sang for. And I said to her, I'm interested in going to the Kadas. And she said to me, well, Marissa, you got to choose a topic. So I said, why not love? And well, she said, yes, love, but then you have to revolve it around a story. And this is a relatable subject. I'm sure a lot of persons have been in a relationship and you're in love with someone else, or you like someone else, but you're unable to tell them. So I decided to write a song that I believe the audience could relate to.
Other competitors are Shamika Sorrendo, One and Only, Jude Deloney, Nou Corner, Ramadin Philip, La Via del Te, and Murphy John Jules. Winners never give up. He was absent. The show, which is scheduled for the night of the 2nd of November, as said earlier, is entering its 7th year. Monday's event was the first of a 3-part launching of the Kadas Lipso show. This year's show will stage 10 finalists coming up against the reigning king. 4 bands will be featured in the band segment. They are Signal, Lucas, First Serenade, and Fanatic Band.
Each individual artist will allow 7 minutes to showcase their talent, and each band will allow 45 minutes on stage. There will be a surprise guest performance which will be announced closer to the date of the show. The price of the tickets will be $60 in advance and $70 at the gate. The price for the VIP will only be $150, and you know we have the best VIP where we serve lots of food and drinks. The venue of the show will be announced, will be communicated later at a later date, but rest assured, we will have the show. I want to express my thanks to all the sponsors who have supported us over the years and those who will be supporting us this year. I also want to say a special thank you to the Board of Directors of the National Cooperative Credit Union. This show could not have existed without the input and colossal financial support.
The other 5 artists will release their songs next Monday. You are watching Channel 5 News. More news after this.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, galvanized and fence pipe. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Thank you for staying with us. Tickets for this year's World Creole Music Festival go on sale online and at the Discover Dominica Authority from Wednesday. This as Dominica and the region get ready for the staging of the 20th edition of the World Creole Music Festival from 26 to 28 October at Windsor Park Stadium. Patrons to the festival can purchase tickets online from Wednesday at 125 EC 46 US per night or 325 EC 115 US for season tickets. Patrons in Dominica wishing to purchase their season tickets can do so at the DDA's office at Financial Center. Season tickets can also be purchased at the upcoming World Creole Music Festival reunion hype activities for only $250. A DDA press release notes that special priced tickets will only be available for a limited time this year. And the MV Carnival fascination of Carnival Cruise Lines was in port, making its 4th call for the summer season on Tuesday. Visitors are treated to cultural performances by Rhythm and Steel, Point Michel Cultural Group, Sankofa Dancers, and Sakis Lapokabwit. Cruise tourism remains a major component of Dominica's growing tourism sector. Carnival Fascination made its 3rd call for the 2017-2018 cruise season on August 7, 2018, with passenger capacity at 2,637. The National Youth Council has scheduled the inauguration of its newly elected executive for next week. The new executive was elected at the NYC's General Assembly on April 28. The new executive will remain in place for the 2018-2020 period. Due to unforeseen circumstances, the NYCD recently postponed its inauguration ceremony, which was originally carried for July 5. Next week's inauguration ceremony will take place at the Public Service Union's conference room. The evening function will begin at 6 under the theme, Lead from Where You Are.
The first goal or objective or priority as a council really is to mobilize the young people. And when I say mobilize, I mean to be constantly in touch with them at the level of the communities and the various districts we operate within. That would be the first, because you'd find that after Maria, young persons would be somewhat disconnected, to some extent disinterested, and somewhat disenfranchised. As any crisis would, have such an effect on the population. But we want to be able to be there with them at the various points where they can get involved in activities at the level of their community. Because you see, this achieving of resilience or climate resilience as a nation really does fall aptly on the young people's shoulders, They have a serious role to play. And we want to ensure that we mobilize them to benefit from prevailing opportunities in Dominica. And where it means, because taking on the climate change really is to allow individuals to be environmentally conscious citizens. You understand? So we want to be able to play a role in that.
The NYCD is planning on rolling out a sustainable development education program in schools.
So that we can go in and teach the young people how to sort of coexist and find balance within their environment and the choices that they can make so that it doesn't impact on the environment, because resilience goes far beyond just infrastructural development. You understand? It also has to deal with human capacity as well, the ability to respond and do so effectively after disasters occurred.
Other members of the NYCD executive include Chairman David Thornhill, First Vice President Kadisha St. Louis, Second Vice President Therese Moranci, Publicity Coordinator Daniel Panther, Assistant Secretary Treasurer Kano Winston, and committee members Yannick Regist and Kasim Birmingham. To end the news, a look again at the headlines. Carpentry workshops by the IOM expected to help shore up Dominica's skilled labor sector. Dominican youth challenged to make positive use of technology. And the World Creole Music Festival tickets go on sale starting Wednesday. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.